Hello and welcome to my meditation. My name is Debra Baker and I am so grateful that you have joined us for this little while. We are in the middle of a series on learning to love, getting to know ourselves, which, I think there's I almost misspoke, but actually I think that when we know ourselves, we can love ourselves better. So, just settle in, get yourself completely comfortable, and let's begin. Okay, and let's begin with our 3 really nice deep breaths. Increasing the depth of the breath each time. And slowing down the inhale. So now take the deepest breath you've taken all day, all the way down into your gut, and then release it nice and slowly. So we are on a quest to get to know ourselves. So I invite you to, if you'd like to try the pretzel breathing I think that's what it's called, that Lacey introduced us to last week, where you just kind of tense up all the muscles in your body. She twisted them up like a pretzel, but you don't have to. Tense up your feet and your legs and your hands and your arms, and just pull your arms into your body. Maybe pull your shoulders up to your ears and just tense it for a second and then let it go. And know that your body is going to continue to relax through this whole meditation, so that by the time we're finished, you're going to be in a really deep state of relaxation. So this week we're going to focus on what you like to do. So many times people will tell me things like, oh, I love to do this. And when I ask them, when is the last time you did it? It was months, years, decades. So let's begin, and we're going to have some moments of silence to just think about the first thing that comes to your mind. What is it that you like to do? An activity that makes you happy or is fun or relaxing, whatever it is, it brings a smile to your face. And so we'll have some moments of silence to just think about what you like to do. And don't beat yourself up or be hard on yourself, but think about how long it has been since you've done it. Several years ago, I was with a group of women, one of whom was an amazing artist, and I was talking about how I was just kind of in a funk. I couldn't quite figure out what was wrong, and she asked me, are you working on any kind of sewing project right now? And I said no, and she said, you need to go home and work on a sewing project, because for me that is something that just brings me such joy, and for you, you may hate to sew, and that's fine. But what is it that if you're in a funk, you can do? So let's take this next time to think about something that you do by yourself. And if your first thing that you thought of was something that you do by yourself, I'm sure there's something else. Maybe it's read, take a walk, meditate, I hope. And let's tune into ourselves, and we'll have a little bit of silence to think about what you like to do by yourself. And if it's been a while since you've done this activity, I invite you to put it on your schedule, put it on your calendar. I think we tend to honor commitments more when what they are in writing. So whether you're typing it into your electronic calendar or you're writing it on your paper calendar, please write it down and honor yourself by doing something you enjoy. And it doesn't have to be anything that costs a lot of money or takes a lot of time. When we're all finished with this meditation, I invite you to take out a piece of paper or a notebook or your journal if you journal and make a list of 20 things you like to do. This is an exercise in the program, The Artist Way, and I found it to be just very profound. So let's think a little bit more about what we like to do. Maybe consider what you like to do with someone else. Whether it's a friend or a loved one, maybe just one other person. And when we have our periods of silence, if you think of lots of things, that's all the better. And if you just think of one thing, really picture yourself doing it so that it feels real. So we're going to have a little bit more silence so you can really get into it. And if you would like to message me what you come up with during this meditation, I would absolutely love that. Whether it's an email or a message on one of the places where I post these meditations, which is YouTube and Facebook. Sometimes when we even just think about things, they bring us joy. And I think I've shared on here before about how when we anticipate a gathering of people, it brings us so much joy as opposed to like a surprise party where, it's just sprung upon us and we didn't get to anticipate all of the people that we were going to see. So now we're going to do a little time travel. And let's go back to when you were a child. A young child, meaning, 6, 8, when you still had your innocence, we hope. And I mean innocence about the world. Like, the world was a simple place. And so just think about what that young version of you enjoyed doing. And what did you imagine? I used to like to roller skate. I probably still do, I just don't have the opportunity. But we had this long balcony on the back of our house, and I would roller skate up and down the balcony, and I would picture myself in a roller skating competition, winning all of the awards and teaching myself how to do a turn on my skates, and it was just, I was in my own little world. So I invite you to just think about what your own little world looked like when you were a child. We'll have some silence for that. And continuing our time travel, let's fast forward to when you were a teenager and think about what you'd like to do as a teenager. Spirit just prompted me to ask the question, when you were a teenager, how did you spend your money? It's probably the time in our lives when we have the most expendable income, because we don't normally have bills. And if we have jobs or, make money anyway, whether it's babysitting or, some part-time job, we get to spend that money however we want. And I don't know about when you were a teenager, but when I was a teenager, gas was 50 cents a gallon. So remember back, remember happy memories of when you were a teenager. I had a convertible. My first car was a convertible, and I loved riding around with the top down. Oh, it was so much fun. That sense of freedom. And now let's fast forward to now and think about, is there anything else, maybe something you like to do in a large group of people, or something that you'd like to do that a lot of other people don't like to do necessarily. We're going to have another little period of time to think about one more thing that you like to do right now. And since we are time traveling, let's time travel into the future and imagine. I like to travel, so if I were to imagine something I might do in the future, or something I would like to do in the future, it might be traveling to some wonderful place. It may be something as simple as swimming outside in the pool or in a body of water. Whatever it is, let's think about something that you could have to look forward to. And we'll have a real long time of silence so you can kind of set yourself up for joy. What could you have to look forward to, that you really love, you really enjoy. I invite you in the week ahead to think some more about what brings a smile to your face, what you like to do, what you might like to do in the future. And maybe get out some of your old photo albums and look at the things that you like to do in the past. Maybe some of the fun times that you've had. Settle in for a moment. We'll have a little more time of silence for you just to be. So let's continue in the week ahead to think about ourselves in kind and loving ways, and to remember that our infinite souls came here to have these human experiences, and they had some things in mind. And I really, truly believe that part of that, maybe all of it, is to enjoy it, to enjoy this human experience. So take a nice deep breath and slowly bring yourself back to the present, or stay in meditation. I highly encourage that as well. And remember that you are a beautiful, beautiful soul, whole and perfect exactly as you are, and the infinite presence moving in, through, and as you is always there for you, is supporting you and loving you and encouraging you to support and love yourself, to reflect it, to remember that the infinite presence moving in, through, and as you is moving in, through, and as you, and you can reflect that out into the world. I think I may have repeated myself. My YouTube channel went on, it got an ad, sorry. So let's take a deep breath. And I invite you to remember that the infinite presence moving in, through, and as me honors and recognizes your beautiful soul and the infinite presence moving in, through, and as you. Namaste.